let's react to this video, and everybody, I'm sure, is gonna have an opinion.
All right, I'm gonna hit play.
Let's see.
But they're two totally different things.
I agree with you. They're two different things. No, we're agreeing. We're agreeing. They're two different things. We're agreeing.
No, we're agreeing to two different things. We're not agreeing that there's not systematic racism because we're not in charge of the system, sir. In case you
all right.
Black people have never been in charge of any system.
Well,
we're not
actually, we have been. Take Baltimore.
No, we've never been in charge of
may
any
I finish?
system. Tell me, what financial system are Black people in charge of? What healthcare system are Black people in charge of? What government system are Black people in charge of?
I'm about ready to tell you.
What prison system are Black people in charge?
I'm about ready to tell you.
I'm not talking about mayors. I already know that talking point, sir. I go on Fox News all the time as well. So let's not go there with that. I said, what system have we created? Have we implemented that?
You see, she just moved the goalpost. Because first she said, what system has a Black person ever been in charge of? Right? And he's trying to answer. Then she moved the goalpost because she knows that he's about to hit her with the answers.
Right.
And being that he's going to hit him with the mayors and all these other government people that are elected officials, she knows that he's about to hit her with that. So what does she do? She moves the goalpost. No.
What system?
Who created? So now it's not who's in charge. Now it's who created the system because she's so desperate to be right. Let's keep playing. I just had to say that because she first started off with in charge. Then she said who created.
And there's a detail. Like if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
That's a detail.
We have been in charge of. Name one.
Is this why you don't like talking to Black women, Larry Elder?
Wow. Baltimore. Freddie Gray a few years ago.
No. That's mayors. I'm not talking. I said system.
I'm going to tell you about this system if you allow me to finish my point.
I'm not talking about somebody elected and doing a job, sir. I asked what system did we create? What financial system?
Okay, let's talk about the system of one of the largest.
Let him say his point,
thank you. One of the systems of one of the largest cities in America, Baltimore. Freddie Gray died in police custody a few years ago. The mayor was Black. The head of the police department was Black. Number two,
it's not in charge of the system. But go ahead.
Number two person in charge of the police department was Black. All of city council Democrats, majority Black.
Still not in charge of the system.
Wow.
You see,
bro, my man got some patience, bro. He's running. Look, it's if you don't agree and you have a counterpoint, that's the purpose of the interview. But to be ignorant, right? That's what she's doing. She's being straight up ignorant. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say it. It is the stereotypical thought you think of the loud Black woman that's upset and angry and doesn't talk and just becomes ignorant. Like it's an ignorant, she feeds into that stereotype and they have such a huge platform. It's disappointing because, man, the dude, you don't agree, let him make his point. You come with your counter argument, but she's just straight cutting him off and just being combative with the guy like that. Like they're a couple arguing.
Yeah, she's very condescending. Like she has no respect for this man. He's answering the question. She doesn't like the answer. She's so desperate to be right that she cuts him off every time he actually answers the question. His answer is actually right. He's answering correctly. She doesn't like the answer. So what does she do? Disrespect him, cut him off. No, I don't want to hear about mayors. I don't want to hear about these people. Listen, let me ask you a question. You own a law firm. Mm-hmm. If you sell your law, now you own a law firm. You have a system in place. The way your law firm is ran, that's your system that you have in place, and that's how your law firm is ran, right? Correct. Okay, if you sell your law firm, let's say I buy it. Now, I'm the owner. I decide, you know what? I'm going to keep the same name. I'm not going to change the name of this law firm because it's doing well. It's successful. Keep it the same name. Now, I'm in charge of the system that you already had in place. Your employees are still there. The only difference is now I'm in charge, which means I'm in charge of that system that you created.
And you can make decisions.
The creation of the system is irrelevant. The person in charge is the one that's relevant because they're the ones that are going to make a decision. They're the ones that are going to control. They're the ones that can change things. They can do what they want because they're in charge of that new business or that system. So her saying who created the system is irrelevant. The people that are in charge, if he's letting you know, in Maryland, the governor of Maryland is Black. That's a government system that he's in charge of now.
For sure.
There's a bunch of Black mayors in New York. That's a system they're in charge of. And they are elected officials. So they are in charge of these systems. What is she arguing? I don't get it. She's so desperate to be right that she has to continue to say that's not part of the system. So then who the hell is in charge of the system then?
Right. No, and you know, well, to his credit, he was about to break it down, and he started at the ground level, the city council, the mayor, and he was just about to keep going up and up. Every important decision-making position was a black person in charge.
Obama was the president.
Correct. Yes.
And then her argument is, oh no, they're just black faces in high places.
That
really
makes no sense.
So if your argument is they're just a black face in a high position, then what are we doing? What are we doing then? What's the whole point of even having anybody that's black in a high position then? What's the point? What was the point of Obama being a president then if he's just a black face in that position? What's the point of the governor of Maryland, right, to be the governor? He's black. What's the point of him being in that position then? There's no point. We might as well just stop this then.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Like I said, she loses all credibility. Like, she might have, honestly, most amazing positions and talking points, but because she's so, like you said, condescending, ignorant, like, you don't want to even pay attention to anything that she has to say. And I mean, literally, the dude is a presidential candidate. It completely loses all value.
Well, he's trying to be presidential candidate,
right?
And he actually met all the requirements.
I saw that today.
We'll get into that in a second, but let's continue watching this. I had to go into it because it just baffles me that this woman could be so dumb.
And I don't know how. My other thing is, does no one, I don't know if bad press is great press, but does no one in their management circle see this woman, how she's acting? Are they bringing her on purpose?
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand what's the thinking.
Before we replay this, because we're going to continue to watch this video, another obvious thing that's happening that shows that we've made major progress. The Breakfast Club is one of the most listened to radio shows in America. I know they very rarely have a Republican person or somebody running from the Republican Party, from the GOP, ever on the Breakfast Club. They normally interview Democrats.
Correct.
That is a huge step. So that's progress in itself, that you're willing to listen. Now, I know it's probably because he's black, but he's still Republican. So that's a huge step forward, in my opinion. But they're not willing to acknowledge that because they want to be hung up. They want to be hung up on the simple fact that no, there's a systematic racism that's holding us back. They don't want to let that go ever. And it's really, really frustrating because we've made a ton of progress in this country. And for them to not even acknowledge it by saying that there's still systematic racism is you're doing a disservice to all the people that actually want to be something in their life. You're actually discouraging Americans of African descent to want to do something with their life.
Six officers charged, 3 of them were black. A judge before whom 2 of the officers tried their case found him not guilty was black.
Still not in charge of the system.
The city intendant of public schools was black. The county superintendent of public schools was black. The attorney general at the time, Loretta Lynch, is black, as was the president of the United States, was black. And yet,
still not in charge of the system.
So who's in
I
charge
asked
of
you
the
a simple
system,
question, sir.
Well, Wanda Sykes.
Even Charlamagne was like, well, then who's in charge of the system? Because he doesn't
literally, he went through the entire line. There's just no, like...
Let's watch this. This is ridiculous. This lady's insane, bro.
Barack Obama got elected. How are you going to complain about the man when you are the man? Now, from the president to the attorney general to the state attorney to the mayor to the head of the police department to the commissions of the schools in the city and in the county to the majority of city council in that city, all of them are black. And you're still saying that we don't run anything?
So who's in charge of the
system?
No.
I said who created the system. I didn't say we didn't run anything.
You see? She moved the goalposts. She's so desperate to be right.
Oh, my God.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, that's a perfect example. And you know what? Look. The Freddie Gray situation doesn't mean something wrong happened, but that's a different issue, right? So she's talking about who's in charge, who created. He's trying to address that issue. It's not even talking specifically about the right or wrong of Freddie Gray. But you're absolutely right. You hit it. Like, she completely just forgot what she just said. It's like,
you know why?
Who created
because his answer was impeccable. So she said, no, who created it? Because I got to be right.
Right.
Come on, man, get out of here.
I challenge a lot of those black leaders, by the way. I said, when we talk about the system, what black people have been in charge of any system? I'm not talking about a position. I'm not talking about a mayor. You know,
you're basically saying that they're black faces that are still in those positions, but they're still being a part
Similar
of the
to you, Mr. Elder. You're a black
blackface
face in a position in the conservative movement. They're just the same. They're just on the other side.
Wow.
So then when Martin Luther King said in 1966, I believe there could be a black president in about 40 years' time, then it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's exactly right, and that's what I just said. So what's the point? What's the point of having any black officials at all? If it doesn't matter.
She went from who's in charge of the system, who created the system.
Yeah,
like she moved it to whatever her benefit was
for her to be right
for her argument. Yeah, for sure.
Also killed him as well. Well, we know that the FBI and the CIA also killed him. That system. You realize that, correct?
Wow.
She just
an individual.
She watched that on YouTube or something.
Right. That was also part of Pro Hotel through the system. Correct?
Yeah. Not correct.
Pro.
Not correct. He was
so
killed.
the FBI didn't have anything to do with it. The CIA didn't have anything to do
not
with it.
Not with his death.
Definitely on Martin's ass. Like, come on.
I didn't say he wasn't.
Oh.
They followed him, they wiretapped him, whatever, but they did not kill the man.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a different issue.
That's a serious allegation that you need to do
a lot of research.
Yeah, man, you can't just throw that out there just because it feels good.
But to say that the FBI killed him, I mean, what's your evidence of that?
Oh, no,
that's a pretty serious charge.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Pretty serious charge.
Yeah.
Serious charges require serious evidence.
Yeah.
What is your
serious charges?
And she doesn't respond to that.
Serious charges require serious evidence. That's 100% accurate.
She
you as a lawyer.
She doesn't respond to it.
But you as a lawyer, serious.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna put serious charges on them, typically you got a boatload of evidence to go along with it.
Right. Come on, man.
What's the law proposal?
It is to allow states to set up commissions of retired judges and retired DAs to get rid of these soft on crime George Soros-backed DAs that are allowing a bunch of bad people on the streets or not charging bad people to the full extent of the law. And the people that, by and large, that are hurt by these people are the very black and brown people living in the inner city. Mm. There's a Larry Krasner is a George Soros-backed DA in Philadelphia. He's been impeached, but this Philadelphia State Senate wouldn't even take up the case. We've had 2 attempts to repeal a soft on crime DA in L.A. County, and it hasn't gone through yet. We've got a bunch of, in my opinion.
Stop it there, because I just really want to react.
He jumps into other issues.
Yeah, he moved on.